Dopamine ramping. I heard this term for the very first time only a few months ago. Maybe I'm behind the times, but I did a ton of research on it and it has changed my life. What is dopamine ramping and how do you do it? I will tell you today because you need this in your life. If you struggle to get things done, dopamine ramp, it will get you there. I'll explain what it is. I'm going to give you 4 steps on how to do it and 2 of my greatest tips. So we all know that feeling when you know you need to do something, you know you need to get up to clean the bathroom, and yet you just don't get up. You know you need to. You know what to do. You know how important it is that you do it. You know how to do it, and yet you don't do it. This is the ADHD brain. ADHD is not a disability of not knowing what to do. It's not being able to get yourself to do it because dopamine is a neurochemical in our brains that does this function. Dopamine is the get started neurochemical, the let's do it neurochemical, the neurochemical in your brain that says, okay, time to go, let's do the thing. In ADHD brains, our dopaminergic system doesn't work that way. We don't have dopamine working in our brains the same way that a neurotypical brain does. And so it is really, really, really hard for an ADHDer to get started on a task that might seem overwhelming or that might seem like it's going to take forever or that just seems like there's too many steps involved. So where do you even start? Yeah, big issue with ADHD. So a dopamine ramp is a way that you can work with your brain on a neurochemical level to help it out. And it takes a lot less discipline and a lot less determination. Discipline and determination are all well and good, but you can only pull that off for so long, for so many days in a row before you just burn out. So sometimes you just need to work with your brain to give your brain the neurochemical that it needs to function, to get started on the thing. And that's what a dopamine ramp does for you. So maybe you have your to-do list and you planned on doing this, and this today. Or when I get home, I'm going to tackle these 3 things. Or tomorrow, when I have a full day off of work, I'm going to do all of these things. And then when that moment comes and it's time to get stuff done, you find yourself laying on the couch binge watching Netflix or playing games on your phone or sleeping. And you know you should get up and do those things that you said you were going to do, but you don't because you don't have dopamine in your brain. So here's what a dopamine ramp is. Step 1, identify where you're ramping from. So are you lethargic? Are you stuck on the couch? Are you hyperactive doing 1,000 other things? And what you really need to do is sit down and focus on the one thing that needs to get done. Are you dysregulated? Are you sleepy? Are you getting up in the morning? Are you coming home from work? Where is your starting place? Where do you need to ramp from? Identify that first because that will tell you what kinds of things you need to do to get to where you need to go. Step 2, identify where your ramp needs to get you. So if you are getting home from work and you need to transition from work to doing things at home and getting chores done, you know where you're ramping from and you know where you need to ramp to get things done around the house. Or if you are in bed in the morning and you need to get up and get ready for work, that's my most common one. I'm in bed, I'm tired, I need to get up and get ready for work. Ramping from, ramping to. Or maybe you are just dysregulated from a social event, you just got home and you need to transition to sitting down at your laptop and getting work done and just sitting still and zoning in on a brain project. And yet your brain is 1,000 other places and you're perseverating on all of the different things that just happened in the past 2 hours and you can't focus on what you need to focus on. Okay, so you're dysregulated, you're perseverating on things, and you need to ramp toward just sitting still and zoning in on a project. That's step 1 and step 2. Identify where you're ramping from, identify where you need to ramp towards. 3, start with something easy. This is where a dopamine menu comes in. If you don't have a dopamine menu, look at the other video that I posted on dopamine menus for ADHD. Go to my YouTube channel, find that video, or just YouTube anyone else's video on a dopamine menu and get one for yourself, because you're going to need one to be able to dopamine ramp. Essentially, the ramp is you using the dopamine menu, and the dopamine menu is things or options that you can choose from to ramp with, if that makes sense. So step 3 is choose something easy. This is something instantaneous that you can do right away just to get dopamine stimulated in your brain and get yourself moving. So dopamine menu terms, this is the appetizer. An example of this would be to start a podcast or start a YouTube video or listen to music or tidy up your immediate space or do a brain dump or a thought download or write down your top priorities of the things that you really need to get done to sort your thoughts and put things on paper. Which of those options you choose is going to be based on what do you need and where are you ramping toward. If you are dysregulated and you need to calm yourself down to focus and sit still, you may choose a meditation or a deep breathing exercise or a thought download, or you might do all 3 of those to ramp yourself toward where you need to get to. If you are lethargic and laying down on the couch and you need to get up and moving and clean the house and clean the bathroom, you may choose to put on upbeat music and do a little bit of exercise or jumping jacks to get yourself going, or listen to a stimulating, motivating podcast that you're really interested in. If you are brain dead and you need to transition toward being creative and creating a project or creating a video or whatever it is that you need to work on and stimulate your brain to get going and start thinking, but your brain is just turned off, maybe you will ramp using a healthy snack and an energy drink and chugging a glass of water. Light a candle, set the mood, turn your sound machine on, spray some perfume or air freshener for some aromatherapy to get your senses stimulated and get yourself going. This is ramping you up toward the thing that you need to do and getting dopamine flowing in the right direction. Okay, step 4 is think, what would make this more fun for me? So getting yourself started is number 1. Getting dopamine flowing, get yourself moving, get yourself going, stimulate your senses. Yeah, that's all well and good. But how do you stay focused on the task that you need to get done, right? It's standing up off the couch is one thing. But how do you get yourself to actually complete the task of cleaning the bathroom or setting up your space and sitting down at your laptop to get work done? Great. How do you keep yourself from then scrolling on your phone while sitting at your laptop? How do you focus on the task? This is where a side dish comes in. If you're using a dopamine menu, choose a side dish. In dopamine ramp terms, what you need to think of is, how can I make this fun for me? This could be watching a TV show while you clean the bathroom, or having music or a sound machine on and light a candle and set your ambiance, have the fireplace going in the background while you work on your brain heavy project, or get a delicious drink and a charcuterie board bowl of all kinds of random little snacks and things that you can keep yourself going with while you sit and do your thing. If you need to go somewhere to a social event, maybe get coffee on your way home, or promise yourself that you can go shopping at TJ Maxx or Target or wherever you like to go after that event to make it fun for you. If you need to drive somewhere to go to the post office to ship something, which is the most annoying task you will ever have to do, my gosh, if I ever need to go to like the freaking UPS store or Kohl's to do an Amazon return, that is the worst chore. I Can't tell you how many times I've ordered something on Amazon and then it just sits there waiting to be returned until the return window has ended and I just have to keep it because I never returned it because I never brought it to Kohl's to return it. Tell yourself that you can call a friend on your way there. Talk to a friend, make it fun for you, right? Make it fun to drive to Kohl's to do that Amazon return. Make it fun for you. That's a good way to ramp into what you need to get done. Step 1, identify where you're ramping from. Step 2, identify where you need to ramp toward. Step 3, start with something easy to get yourself started. And 4, think, how can I make this fun for me to get all the way to the finish line? So, tip number 1 is ramp in the right direction. I cannot tell you how many times. Okay, so here's an example. I almost always have to dopamine ramp in the mornings. And I do this differently every morning because different things produce dopamine for me every morning. And I use a dopamine menu and I do all the things, but I have to ramp from laying lethargic in bed, not being able to get up out of bed, to being dressed and ready for work. That's a big transition for me that is really hard to do in the mornings. I'm having to use a dopamine ramp almost every morning. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten dopamine flowing in my brain to get ready for work by watching YouTube videos on how to train a puppy. That worked to get dopamine flowing. That worked to get me moving. Except that I needed to ramp toward going to work. And instead, I ramped toward researching puppies and puppy training strategies and puppy adoption websites all day. And I couldn't focus on my job at all because I was so distracted with looking for a puppy to adopt. Because I don't have a puppy, but I want one. So I ramped in the wrong direction. I ramped, yes, I got myself out of bed and motivated, but I was distracted by puppies all day. Okay, another example is watching crochet videos. It was a phase. I was watching crochet videos to ramp myself to get ready for work. But then once again, I was hyper focusing on crochet projects and I was distracted all day long. So ramp in the right direction. If I want to get ready for work, I've discovered I should not use one of my hyper focus activities to get dopamine flowing if I'm trying to transition to my job. What I should do instead is listen to a getting ready for work music playlist that's like upbeat, happy music to get dressed and ready to go. Or watch YouTube videos specifically on what I do for work, which is physical therapy. So learning new physical therapy techniques or kinesiotaping techniques. That gets me actually motivated and driven to go to my job and do what I do rather than ramping toward adopting a puppy or doing a crochet project, which is not helpful when I'm trying to focus on my job. So ramp in the right direction. You'll thank yourself. Tip number 2, create for yourself a dopamine menu. If you don't have a dopamine menu, if you don't know what that is, or if you made one a long time ago, but it's just not working for you and you're not using it, go watch my video on how to make a dopamine menu and also how to use a dopamine menu, because those two things are very different. Making one and actually using it, very different. Use your dopamine menu to dopamine ramp throughout your day. The menu will give you options of what to do to ramp toward what you need to get done. Review. Step 1, identify where you're starting from. Are you lethargic? Are you dysregulated? Are you brain dead? Are you perseverating on things? What do you need to do to ramp toward what you need to get done? So step 2 is, what do you need to get done? What are you trying to ramp toward? Do you need to get physically active and move your body, or do you need to sit still at your desk and get your brain working? Which one is it? Do you need to regulate and think straight, or do you need to get creative and get wild? Where are you ramping toward? Step 3 is start with something easy to get dopamine flowing and stimulated in your brain. Chug a glass of water, grab a delicious drink, grab some snacks, light a candle, change your clothes, put shoes on, whatever you need to do. Use your dopamine menu to choose the easy thing to get started. 4, think, what would make this more fun for me? So make it fun. Don't work against yourself. Don't force yourself. Don't rely on self-discipline and determination and I mean, come on, those things are great for a couple days or even a couple weeks, but you will burn yourself out if you are just relying on forcing yourself to do things. Make it fun, make it engaging, keep the dopamine going so that you're actually getting a reward from doing this. And that is what will keep you moving. Tip number 1 is ramp in the right direction. Don't watch YouTube videos about adopting a puppy if you're trying to go to work and you can't think about puppies for the day. It's not a good idea. Tip number 2 is have a dopamine menu and have it accessible on you where you can access it at any point in time. If you've created a dopamine menu in the past and put it in your journal or created this really, really pretty paper setup and it's on your wall in your bedroom, that's beautiful, except that you can't see it if you're not in your bedroom. So if you're not using your dopamine menu, it's not working for you, make one that's accessible, that you can actually access, that's digital on your phone, that you can edit and change and evolve as you evolve, then it might actually be more useful to you. That's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Check out my YouTube channel. Email me at shelby@adhd-daily.com. I would love to hear from you. Mwah! Love you all. Have a great day. Good luck out there. I want to make sure this is still recording because I have a sickening feeling right now that I'm not recording anymore. I am. Okay, I'm recording. Video's still working. I'm so paranoid about talking to the camera for 45 minutes and then realizing that it was never recording in the first place. Oh my gosh. You know, something just fell out of the sky. What was that? It was a branch. Sorry, distracted. I also have to pee. I'll be back in a second.